Okay, so this last chapter is basically all about counting. And so we're going to start with the basics, which is the rule of sum. This one should be fairly intuitive. So the formal description of the rule is that if there's m ways to complete task A and n ways to complete task B, then there are m plus n ways to complete task A or B. So something that should be noted here is that there should be no intersection with A or B. So we should assume that there's no overlap between what's contained in case A or case B. So I will just write that down. So a first example here, Randy wants to play a video game tonight. He's got 6 PS4 games, 8 Switch games, and 3 PC games. How many games does he have to choose from? So yeah, if you don't think about that written rule of sum above, this probably is a little bit more clear. Again, we're going to make this assumption that he doesn't have the same game twice, so we don't have that overlap, because why would he? Yeah, so he's got 6 PS4, 8 Switch, and 3 PC games. If we want to use the phrasing of the rule of sum, the task would be basically playing a game. Or you could even make it just choosing a game. And so task A would be the PS4 games, and B would be the Switch games, and C would be the PC games. And then in this scenario, we would put the word or between all of these cases. He could choose PS4 or Switch or a PC game. And what that word or is going to mean in counting is plus. We would add these things together, again, assuming that they are exclusive. And so PS4 games, there were 6, plus Switch games, 8, plus PC games, 3. And so there'd be 14, 17 different games for him to choose from. So that's your sort of foundational component of counting. Obviously, it's going to build up a little bit from there. So we'll do a second example. Okay, so a second example, Leonard is making macarons. The cookie part, that's delicious almondy fluffy cookie, is going to be either vanilla or mocha flavored. And the filling is going to be either chocolate, cherry, or caramel flavored. How many different kinds of macaron can he make? So this is really going to be more of a lead-in into the next property of counting, but we can still think of this as completing a task A or B. So what I might do is split this up. It doesn't really matter if I want to think of the cookie part or the filling part first. So maybe I think there's only 2 options for the cookie, so I'm going to split that up. So my tasks are going to be to choose the cookie part. And so the 2 tasks are going to be vanilla or mocha. And so again, there's that word or between them. So we know that it's going to be addition. And these are definitely exclusive. There will be no overlap in this situation because a macaron with a vanilla cookie is going to be a different macaron than with a mocha cookies. So the options that we have from here have overlap because we could have the same filling in either, but it will make different cookies or different macarons. So we absolutely have no overlap. They will be distinct. That's what we need for these rules to really make any sense. And so yeah, so now we want to think about how many different options there are for these. So for both, there are 3. And so what we're going to have here is 3 plus 3, which is going to be 6 different varieties. And so yeah, so that's the general principle of this rule of sum. As long as you have 2 distinct non-overlapping cases, if we're allowed either of those cases to fit our criteria, then you would add the number of cases. And so yeah, so we get 6 here, 3 plus 3 is 6. So this is going to be leading into the rule of product, which would come up next naturally. Another way of thinking of this, though, is task A which is going to be choose the cookie. And then task B, which is going to be choose the filling. And so it's going to be a matter of what does that word then mean? So it's kind of described here, but we'll cover this in the next video.